A man hardly realizes everything he's risking the moment he chooses to be unfaithful. Cheating doesn't just threaten a marriage, it slowly strips away the very things that make a man honorable. It costs him his dignity, his peace, his self-respect, and often his finances, and leaves him emotionally and spiritually exhausted. A little girl who once looked up to him, whom he never imagined would have influence over him, can suddenly begin to control or disrespect him simply because she has seen his nakedness. At home, the trust and respect that holds the marriage together begins to fade. Instead of feeling fulfilled and living with confidence, he carries guilt and lives in fear. Fear of phone calls, messages, fear of being exposed, fear of unexpected questions, and the constant burden of living a double life. On top of that, unfaithfulness exposes him to sexually transmitted infections that can permanently affect his health. And in many cases, an innocent wife ends up paying the price for a sin she never committed because her randy husband brings those infections back into the marriage. Few betrayals are as heartbreaking as endangering the health of the person who trusted you the most. Sin always promises excitement at the beginning, but it leaves you with shame, regrets, broken trust, and destruction in the end. The Bible warns about this in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 26, which I will talk about in my next episode. Please, I would like you to stay tuned for that. It also says in Proverbs chapter 32, chapter 6, verse 32 to 33, if I'm not mistaken. It says, he who commits adultery lacks sense. Hear that again. He who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself. He will get wounds and dishonor, and his disgrace will not be wiped away. You see, these are not just ancient words. They described what still happens today. Adultery is expensive. It can cost a man his marriage, his children, his reputation, his finances, his credibility, his relationship with God, and the peace that money cannot buy. A respected man can become an object of pity because of one uncontrolled appetite. Dear husbands, and every man listening, protect your integrity more fiercely than your image. It is easier to remain faithful than to rebuild a life after unfaithfulness has torn it apart. The greatest proof of strength is not the ability to attract many women, it is the discipline to honor one.